Cultural diversity is like a vast ocean of wonders, each wave bringing new curiosity about countries that surprise and delight us. Imagine yourself walking through a vibrant market where every corner reveals a new flavor, a new story, a new way of seeing the world. It is in this melting pot of cultures that we find the most unusual traditions, those that make us stop and reflect on what it really means to be human. And it's not just about seeing the exotic, but about understanding and respecting those differences that unite us more than they separate us. Understanding these cultural peculiarities is like opening an adventure book, where each page reveals a new mystery to be unraveled. What defines a custom as bizarre? Maybe it's something that challenges our perception of what is normal, something that takes us out of our comfort zone and makes us question our own traditions. Think about the feeling of freedom when experiencing something that, at first glance, seems strange, but, upon closer inspection, turns out to be full of meaning and beauty. The unusual customs are an invitation to reflect on life and death, love and loss, joy and sadness. They show us that, despite our differences, we all share the same human journey. And it is at this point that we find the true richness of cultural diversity, the ability to connect with others, to learn and grow together. After all, curiosity about countries and their traditions is what drives us to explore, to discover what lies beyond the horizon. And so, with an open mind and a curious heart, we embarked on this fascinating journey, prepared to dive into a world of rituals and celebrations that challenge us to see the world with new eyes. Let's explore together, starting with the tomato throwing parties in Spain, where fun and tradition meet in a spectacle of color and joy. Amid the scorching heat of the Spanish summer, the small town of Buñol comes to life with an explosion of color and laughter. La Tomatina, one of the most famous festivals in the world, turns quiet streets into a battlefield where tomatoes are the only weapons. The origins of this peculiar event date back to a street fight in the 1940s, which, interestingly enough, evolved into an official celebration. Today, La Tomatina is a vivid example of how a country curiosity can transform into a vibrant cultural tradition. Participating in this festival is a unique sensory experience. Imagine yourself surrounded by thousands of people, all united by a common purpose: fun. The energy is palpable, and each tomato toss is accompanied by laughter and screams of joy. It is a moment of pure liberation, where everyday worries are set aside and community spirit is celebrated. This curiosity about countries, in particular Spain, shows us how simplicity can be the key to collective happiness. La Tomatina's impact goes beyond fun. Economically, the festival attracts tourists from all over the world, bringing vitality to the local economy. Culturally, it reinforces Buñol's identity, putting the city on the map as an unmissable destination for those seeking unique experiences. It is a perfect example of how a country's curiosity can transform into an event of global importance, attracting eyes and hearts from all corners of the world. And so, with faces still stained red and hearts full of joy, we prepare to explore another corner of the world where equally fascinating traditions await us. Let's now go to India, where peculiar wedding rituals await us, each with their own symbolism and stories to tell. In India, weddings are true spectacles of colors, sounds, and emotions, full of symbolism that dates back millennia. Each ceremony is a celebration not just of the union of two people, but also of their families, communities, and even the stars. Yes, the stars. Because in India, astrology plays a crucial role in choosing the dates and compatibility of the bride and groom. It's fascinating how this curiosity about countries reveals the depth with which traditions can influence everyday life. Imagine an Indian wedding: the sound of drums, the scent of jasmine flowers, the shine of clothes decorated with gold and silver. Every detail is carefully planned to honor the gods and bring good luck to the couple. Matchmakers, respected figures in the community, have the responsibility of ensuring that each ritual is followed to the letter. From exchanging garlands to taking 7 steps around the sacred fire, each gesture is filled with meaning and blessings. The couple's stories are as diverse as the country itself. There are reports of weddings lasting days, with celebrations that include dancing, music, and lavish banquets. In some regions, the wedding is preceded by purification rituals, where the bride and groom are anointed with oils and spices. These intimate and spiritual moments are a true immersion in Indian culture, a country curiosity that makes us reflect on our own traditions and values. And so, with our hearts warmed by stories of love and union, we continue our journey to South Korea. There, the Boryong Mud Festival awaits us, promising an experience as unique as it is fun, where mud is the main star and health is celebrated in an unusual way. Imagine a beach where fun and health meet in a sea of mud. Welcome to the Boryong Mud Festival in South Korea, an event that attracts thousands of visitors eager to immerse themselves in a unique experience. This festival began in 1998 as a way to promote the benefits of Boryong mud products, known for their therapeutic properties. Today, it is a perfect example of how a curiosity about countries can turn into an exuberant and lively celebration. During the festival, the city of Boryong transforms into a gigantic amusement park, with activities ranging from mud slides to mud wrestling competitions. The atmosphere is contagious, with people of all ages indulging in the fun without reservation. It is a moment of pure joy, where mud becomes a symbol of freedom and carelessness. Taking part in the Boryong Mud Festival is immersing yourself in a curious country that celebrates health and happiness in an unusual way. The health benefits are one of the main attractions of the festival. Boryong mud is rich in minerals that help revitalize the skin, making it a true outdoor spa. Furthermore, social interaction and physical activity provide general well-being, both physical and mental. It's fascinating to see how a curiosity about countries can translate into a practice that promotes health and well-being in such a fun and accessible way. And so, with refreshed skin and a light spirit, we continued our journey to Indonesia. There, the Manin ritual awaits us, revealing a unique and deep relationship with the ancestors, where life and death intertwine in a continuous cycle of love and respect. On the steep slopes of Cooper's Hill in England, a centuries-old tradition defies both gravity and common sense. The cheese races, held every year, attract competitors and spectators from all over the world, eager to witness or participate in this country curiosity. The race involves throwing a round cheese down a hill, followed by a crowd of brave or insane participants throwing themselves down the hill in an attempt to capture it. This tradition, which dates back at least 2 centuries, is a spectacle of pure adrenaline and fun. The exact origin of the cheese races is a mystery, but theories range from fertility rituals to pagan spring celebrations. What is certain is that the event has become a symbol of courage and madness, with participants often walking away with more than a few bruises. The steep incline of the hill, combined with the cheese's speed, makes the race extremely dangerous. However, it is this combination of risk and reward that makes cheese races such a fascinating and attractive country curiosity. The challenges faced by runners are immense. Cooper's Hill has a slope of about 50 degrees, and the uneven terrain adds to the difficulty. Many runners end up rolling, falling and crashing into each other in a frantic attempt to reach the cheese. Despite the risks, the race attracts a large number of participants every year, each hopeful of becoming the winner and taking home the cheese as a trophy. It is an event that encapsulates the essence of tradition and bravery, a true curiosity about countries that makes us admire human tenacity. And so, with our spirits still lifted by the excitement of the cheese races, we continued our journey to Ethiopia. There, the rites of passage in the Hamar tribe await us, revealing a series of tests of courage and resistance that mark the transition to adulthood in one of the oldest and most respected cultures in the world. On the vast plains of Ethiopia, the Hamar tribe maintains a tradition of passage that is both a test of courage and a celebration of life. The bull-jumping ritual, known as Ukuli Bula, marks the transition of young people from childhood to adulthood. This event is a fascinating example of how a curiosity about countries can reveal deeply rooted and meaningful cultural practices. The ceremony is a visual and emotional spectacle, where the entire community comes together to witness and support young people on their journey of growth and responsibility. The preparation for Ukuli Bula is intense and emotionally charged. The young men, known as Ukuli, undergo several days of preparation, which include fasting and isolation. On the day of the ritual, they must run and jump over a row of bulls arranged side by side, without falling. This act of bravery symbolizes his ability to face the challenges of adulthood and assume responsibilities within the community. It is a country curiosity that shows us the importance of rites of passage and community support in the formation of individual identity. For the Hamars, success at Ukuli Bula is a source of great pride and celebration. The women of the tribe play a crucial role in the ritual, singing and dancing to encourage the young. They also undergo a flagellation ritual, where they are voluntarily whipped to demonstrate their strength and support for the Ukuli. This act, although painful, is seen as a proof of love and solidarity. The stories of success and overcoming of young people who complete the jump are told and retold, strengthening community ties and the continuity of traditions. And so, with hearts full of respect for the courage and resilience of the Hamar, we continued our journey to Japan. There, the New Year celebrations, especially the Hadaka Matsuri festival, await us, promising an experience of purification and luck that is both spiritual and physical, and which reveals another fascinating facet of this rich cultural tapestry. In the heart of the Japanese winter, a tradition of purification and renewal comes to life in spectacular fashion during the Hadaka Matsuri, or Naked Men Festival. This event, held in various regions of Japan, but especially famous in the city of Okayama, attracts thousands of participants who, dressed only in fundoshi, a type of traditional loincloth, brave the biting cold in search of luck and blessings for the new year. This celebration is a vibrant example of how a curiosity about countries can reveal cultural practices that are both spiritual and physical, challenging both the body and mind. The origin of Hadaka Matsuri dates back centuries, when the Japanese believed that nudity had the power to ward off evil spirits and bring good luck. During the festival, participants gather at temples and shrines, where they are purified with cold water before engaging in a frenzied scramble to grab sacred amulets thrown by priests. These amulets, known as shingi, are considered to bring fortune, and possession of them promises a year of prosperity. It is a country curiosity that shows us the intersection between faith, tradition, and physical resistance. Spectators, in turn, watch with excitement as participants push and fight through the crowd. The energy of the event is palpable, with shouts of encouragement and expressions of determination on the men's faces. The success stories and challenges faced during Hadaka Matsuri are told and retold, creating a sense of community and continuity. For many, participating in the festival is a way to honor their ancestors and connect with Japan's spiritual roots. This country curiosity gives us a deep insight into the resilience and devotion of the Japanese people. And so, with purified bodies and elevated spirits, we continued our journey to Denmark. There, a quirky and fun tradition awaits us: the Cinnamon Challenges, where singles are covered in spices on their birthdays, creating a celebration that is as funny as it is socially significant. In Denmark, a curiosity about countries manifests itself in a peculiar and fun way through the cinnamon challenges. This tradition, which occurs on singles' 25th birthdays, involves covering the person with cinnamon from head to toe. Friends and family come together to participate in this game, which, although it may seem strange to some, is a social celebration full of laughter and camaraderie. The tradition dates back centuries and remains a popular way to mark an important milestone in the lives of young Danes. The ritual begins with the birthday boy's friends preparing large quantities of cinnamon. Then, the birthday boy or girl is tied to a post or chair, and the cinnamon is thrown over them in an aromatic, colorful cloud. The scene is both chaotic and hilarious, with everyone involved laughing and having fun. This country curiosity highlights the importance of humor and collective celebration in Danish culture. It is a moment of togetherness, where bonds of friendship are strengthened through a unique and memorable tradition. Participants' reactions range from surprise to uncontrollable laughter, but the experience is always remembered fondly. For many, being covered in cinnamon is a rite of passage that symbolizes acceptance and support from the community. It's a way of saying that even though they are still single, they are loved and valued by their friends and family. This event is a perfect example of how a curiosity about countries can reveal cultural practices that promote social cohesion and shared joy. And so, with the scent of cinnamon still in the air and our hearts warmed by the camaraderie, we continued our journey to Ukraine. There, the feasts of Ivana Kupala await us, promising a magical celebration of fire and water that celebrates the summer solstice and connects us with ancient pagan traditions. In the heart of Ukraine, as the summer solstice approaches, the banks of rivers and lakes light up with bonfires and laughter. The feasts of Ivana Kupala, a celebration that dates back to ancient pagan traditions, marks the high point of summer with fire and water rituals. This curiosity about countries reveals a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that celebrate fertility, love, and purification. During this magical night, young and old come together to participate in games, dances, and rituals that connect the present with the past. The origins of the feast of Ivana Kupala are rooted in rituals that venerate nature and the elements. The bonfires, which burn brightly throughout the night, are jumped by young people in search of good luck and protection against evil spirits. This courageous act is a test of bravery and a rite of passage, symbolizing purification and renewal. Additionally, young single women create wreaths of flowers and throw them into rivers, believing that the direction in which the wreath floats will reveal the fate of their future love. This curious country shows us how nature and traditions are deeply intertwined in Ukrainian culture. The love stories and encounters during Ivana Kupala are numerous and enchanting. Many couples claim to have found their partners during this magical night, guided by the ancient rituals and the atmosphere of romance. Dancing around the bonfires, searching for magical fern flowers, and nighttime bathing in the rivers are just some of the activities that make this celebration so special. It's a night where magic and reality meet, creating lasting memories and strengthening community bonds. And so, with our hearts warmed by love stories and the magic of campfires still shining in our minds, we continued our journey to Japan. There, tea ceremonies await us, promising an experience of serenity and introspection that reveals the depth of Japanese culture and the beauty of simple gestures. In Japan, the tea ceremony, known as chanoyu or sado, is much more than simply preparing a drink. It is a spiritual and philosophical practice that involves the art of hospitality and the search for harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. Held in a carefully prepared environment, Every detail of the ceremony is meticulously planned to provide an experience of introspection and connection. This curiosity about countries reveals to us the depth with which the Japanese value simple gestures and the beauty of the present moment. The ritual begins with preparing the space, which should be serene and minimalist, reflecting the wabi-sabi aesthetic, which finds beauty in imperfection and transience. The host, dressed in traditional attire, welcomes guests with a bow, symbolizing respect and humility. Tea preparation itself is a meticulous process, where every movement is executed with precision and grace. The utensils such as the tea bowl, bamboo whisk, and water ladle are chosen carefully, each carrying a special meaning. This country curiosity shows us how simplicity can be elevated to an art form. The guests, in turn, actively participate in the ceremony, observing the host's every gesture and enjoying the atmosphere of tranquility. The exchange of words is minimal, allowing silence and meditation to take over the environment. While drinking tea, guests reflect on the ephemerality of life and the importance of being present in the moment. This experience is a way of purifying the mind and spirit, a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The tea ceremony is a curiosity about countries that teaches us to value stillness and contemplation. And so, with a calm spirit and a clear mind, we continued our journey to India. There, the Holi festival awaits us, promising an explosion of colors and joy that celebrates the victory of good over evil, and invites us to immerse ourselves in a unique sensorial and emotional experience. In India, when spring begins to emerge, an explosion of colors takes over the streets and squares. The Festival of Holi, also known as the Festival of Colors, is a vibrant celebration that marks the victory of good over evil and the arrival of the flower season. This event is one of the curiosities about countries that most fascinates the world, not just for the colors, but for the contagious joy it awakens. During Holi, people gather to throw colored powders at each other, dance to traditional music, and share sweets and typical dishes. The origins of Holi are rooted in ancient Hindu legends, particularly the story of Prahlad and Holika, which symbolizes the victory of devotion and kindness over evil. The night before the festival is marked by Holika Dahan, a large bonfire that represents the burning of the demon Holika. This ritual is followed by songs and prayers, preparing the spirit for the next day's celebration. This curious country shows us how ancient traditions and myths still play a vital role in modern life, maintaining a connection with the past and reinforcing cultural values. On Holi Day, the streets transform into a kaleidoscope of colors. People of all ages and social classes come together to throw colored powders, known as gulal, and water at each other. The atmosphere is one of pure joy and camaraderie, with laughter and hugs everywhere. Loud music and drums create a contagious rhythm, and spontaneous dances are an expression of freedom and happiness. This festival is a curiosity about countries that teaches us the importance of celebrating life and community, regardless of differences. And so, with our clothes and faces still dyed in bright colors, we continued our journey to the African tribes. There, the initiation rituals await us, revealing practices and symbolisms that mark the transition of young people to adulthood and invite us to reflect on the challenges and achievements of this important phase of life. Deep in the African savannas, ancient tribes still preserve initiation rituals that mark the transition of young people into adulthood. These rituals, which vary from tribe to tribe, are full of symbolism and meaning, representing one of the curiosities about countries that most intrigue and fascinate. In many of these cultures, the transition to adulthood is not simply a question of age, but involves a series of physical and mental trials that test the courage, endurance, and wisdom of young people. It is a process that reinforces community identity and social cohesion. A notable example is the circumcision ritual among the Maasai, a semi-nomadic tribe of Kenya and Tanzania. For young Maasai, circumcision is a crucial rite of passage that symbolizes entry into adulthood and acceptance of new responsibilities. During the ceremony, young people are subjected to a pain resistance test, where they must remain still and silent. This act of bravery is a testament to your readiness to face the challenges of adulthood. This curious country shows us how pain and sacrifice can be seen as a path to maturity and respect. Another example is the bull-jumping ritual of the Hamar tribe in Ethiopia. In this rite, young people must run and jump over a row of bulls arranged side by side without falling. This act of courage symbolizes his ability to overcome obstacles and assume responsibilities within the community. The women of the tribe also actively participate, singing and dancing to encourage the youth, and undergoing a flagellation ritual that demonstrates their strength and support. This curiosity about countries reveals the importance of rites of passage in the formation of individual and collective identity. And so, with hearts full of respect for the courage and resilience of the young initiates, we continued our journey to Mexico. There, Dia de Muertos awaits us, promising a celebration rich in symbolism and emotion, where life and death intertwine in a dance of memories and tributes to departed loved ones. In Mexico, the arrival of early November brings with it a unique and deeply moving celebration, Dia de Muertos. This festival, which takes place on the 1st and 2nd of November, is one of the most famous and admired curiosities about countries worldwide. Unlike other cultures that associate death with sadness, Mexicans celebrate the lives of those who have passed away with joy, color, and music. Dia de Muertos is a fusion of indigenous traditions and Catholic influences, resulting in a celebration that honors ancestors and keeps the memory of loved ones alive. Preparations for Dia de Muertos begin weeks in advance, with families creating elaborate altars called ofrendas in their homes and in cemeteries. These altars are decorated with cempasúchil flowers, also known as dead man's flowers, candles, photographs, and the deceased's favorite foods and drinks. The belief is that during these days, the souls of the dead return to the world of the living to enjoy the offerings and reunite with their families. This country curiosity shows us a unique and comforting approach to death, where remembrance and celebration go hand in hand. The streets of Mexican cities and towns are filled with parades, music, and traditional dances. People dress in colorful costumes and paint their faces like skulls, symbolizing the duality of life and death. The calaveras, or sugar skulls, are an icon of this celebration, representing the sweetness of life and the inevitability of death. Dia de Muertos is a time of unity and reflection, where the community comes together to celebrate the continuity of life through generations. This curiosity about countries teaches us to see death not as an end, but as an ongoing part of the cycle of life. And so, with our hearts warmed by the stories and memories of those who have gone before, we continue our journey to the Middle East. There, the camel races await us, promising an exciting competition that combines tradition and modernity and reveals the cultural and economic importance of these majestic animals in the lives of local communities. In the vast arid desert of the Middle East, camel racing is a tradition that combines the adrenaline of competition with the region's rich cultural heritage. This event, which dates back centuries, is one of the curiosities about countries that most fascinates visitors and locals. Camel races are mainly held in countries such as the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, where these majestic animals are considered a symbol of wealth and prestige. The competitions attract thousands of spectators, all eager to see the fastest and best-trained camels in action. Racing camels are treated with extreme care and dedication. From a young age, they are subjected to a rigorous training regime and special diet, to ensure they are in their best physical shape. Jockeys, who traditionally were children due to their light weight, have been replaced by robot jockeys in an effort to modernize the sport and ensure children's safety. This curious country shows us how tradition and innovation can coexist, keeping a cultural practice alive while adapting to contemporary needs. The races are held on specially built tracks in the desert, where the camels run at impressive speeds, often exceeding 60 kilometers per hour. The excitement is palpable, with spectators fervently rooting for their favorites. Competitions are often accompanied by festivals and fairs, where Bedouin culture is celebrated through music, dance, and traditional cuisine. This event is a curiosity about countries that reveals to us the importance of camels not only as pack animals, but as an integral part of the region's cultural and economic identity. And so, with the desert sand still fresh in our memories and the excitement of racing beating in our hearts, we continued our journey to Mongolia. There, the Ice Games await, promising a series of traditional competitions that test the strength and endurance of participants, while celebrating the country's rich nomadic heritage. In the icy wastes of Mongolia, when winter reaches its peak, a series of traditional competitions known as the Ice Games transform the landscape into a proving ground of strength and endurance. This event is one of the curiosities about countries that most impresses due to its combination of skill, courage, and tradition. Held during the Tsagan Sar festival, which celebrates the Lunar New Year, the Ice Games are a celebration of Mongolians' nomadic heritage and ability to thrive in extreme conditions. The Ice Games include a variety of competitions such as ice horse racing, archery, and Mongolian wrestling. Each of these tests requires a combination of physical strength, dexterity, and strategy. Horse races, for example, are held on frozen lakes where riders demonstrate their ability to control the animals on slippery surfaces. Mongolian fighting, in turn, is an exhibition of strength and technique, where competitors face each other in hand-to-hand combat until one of them is knocked down. This curious country shows us the importance of tradition and competitive spirit in Mongolian culture. The festival is also an opportunity for families and communities to come together and celebrate together. The competitions are accompanied by parties and banquets, where traditional dishes such as booze, meat dumplings, and aerog, fermented mare's milk, are served. Traditional music and dance add a festive touch to the event, creating an atmosphere of joy and camaraderie. The Ice Games are a curiosity about countries that reveal the resilience and pride of a people who, for centuries, have lived in harmony with nature and its adversities. And so, with the echoes of the celebrations and the images of the competitions still vivid in our minds, we continued our journey to Spain. There, the Fiestas de San Fermín await us, promising an exciting and sometimes dangerous experience, where the famous bullfight attracts thousands of participants and spectators from all over the world. In Pamplona, Spain, the first days of July are marked by a celebration that mixes tradition, emotion, and danger, the festivities of San Fermín. This week-long event is world-famous for its running of the bulls, or encierro, where participants run through the city's narrow streets, trying to escape the bulls that are released after them. This curiosity about countries reveals a tradition that attracts thousands of tourists and locals, all eager to participate or watch this spectacle of adrenaline and courage. The origins of the Fiestas de San Fermín date back centuries, combining religious celebrations in honor of Saint Fermín, the patron saint of Pamplona, with livestock fairs and bullfighting events. The running of the bulls, which has become the festival's most iconic event, begins every morning at 8 o'clock when a rocket is launched to signal the release of the bulls. The runners, dressed in white with red scarves, nervously await the start of the race, knowing that in just a few minutes they will be running for their lives. This curious country shows us the courage and tradition rooted in Spanish culture. The emotions during the encierro are intense. The sound of the bull's hooves hitting the pavement, the shouts of the runners, and the crowd of spectators create an electrifying atmosphere. Participants need agility and coolness to avoid the bulls, which can weigh more than 500 kilos and run at impressive speeds. Despite the risks, many runners return year after year, attracted by the adrenaline and the desire to be part of this centuries-old tradition. This curiosity about countries reveals the complexity of a celebration that is at the same time a proof of bravery and a cultural tribute. And so, with our hearts still racing with the excitement of the San Fermin festival, we continued our journey to Peru. There, healing rituals await us, promising a transformative experience through shamanic practices that connect participants with the spiritual world and offer paths to healing and self-discovery. In the heart of Peru's Amazon rainforests, shamanic healing rituals offer a gateway to a deep and transformative spiritual world. These rituals, conducted by experienced shamans, are one of the curiosities about countries that most intrigue and attract people in search of self-knowledge and healing. Using sacred medicinal plants such as ayahuasca, shamans guide participants through introspective journeys that promise purification, emotional healing, and a deeper connection with nature and the universe. The ayahuasca ceremony is one of the best-known and respected rituals. Held at night, in a controlled and safe environment, participants consume a drink made from a combination of plants that induces visions and intense spiritual experiences. The shaman, with his ancestral knowledge, sings icaros, sacred songs, to guide and protect participants during the journey. This curious country shows us the importance of indigenous traditions and ancestral wisdom in the search for healing and inner balance. The accounts of those who participate in these rituals are varied and deeply personal. Many describe experiences of reunions with deceased loved ones, visions of past lives, or powerful insights into their own lives and behaviors. The experience can be challenging and sometimes confronting, but it is always transformative. The purification that occurs during the ceremony is both physical and spiritual, helping participants to release trauma and emotional blockages. This curiosity about countries reveals to us the depth with which spirituality and traditional medicine can intertwine. And so, with our spirits lifted and our minds opened by the revelations of the healing rituals, we continued our journey to Brazil. There, the carnival celebrations await us, promising an explosion of joy, music, and dance that transforms the streets into a vibrant spectacle of colors and culture, and invites us to immerse ourselves in the most famous party in the country. In Brazil, Carnival is much more than a simple party. It is an explosion of culture, color, and joy that takes over the streets and hearts of millions of people. Celebrated in several cities, but especially famous in Rio de Janeiro and Salvador, Carnival is one of the curiosities about countries that most fascinates the world. During these days, the streets transform into a gigantic stage where samba schools, street blocks, and revelers of all ages come together to celebrate life with music, dance, and dazzling costumes. The history of Brazilian Carnival dates back to the colonial period, with influences from European festivals and African traditions. Today, it is a cultural manifestation that reflects the diversity and richness of the country. In Rio de Janeiro, the Samba School Parade at the Sambódromo is the highlight of the party. Each school prepares for months a show that combines music, dance, and floats, competing for the title of Carnival Champion. This curiosity of a country shows us the dedication and talent involved in creating an event that enchants and moves millions of spectators. In Salvador, Carnival is marked by trios electrics, large trucks equipped with powerful sound systems, which roam the city streets accompanied by crowds of revelers. The energy is contagious, with people dancing and singing to the sound of axé, samba reggae, and other Afro-Brazilian rhythms. Salvador Carnival is a celebration of inclusion and joy, where everyone is welcome to join the party. This curiosity about countries reveals Brazil's ability to create events that celebrate life and diversity in an exuberant and inclusive way. And so, with the sounds of samba still ringing in our ears, and the sparkles of fantasies still vivid in our memories, we continue our journey to completion. Let's reflect on the value of bizarre customs and what we can learn from these unique traditions that connect us as human beings, celebrating the diversity and beauty of different cultures around the world. Along this journey, we explore a variety of bizarre customs that challenge our perceptions and invite us to look at the world with new eyes. Each of these traditions, however strange it may seem, carries with it a depth of meaning and a rich cultural heritage. These fun facts about countries show us that what may seem unusual to some is a vital expression of identity and community to others. Celebrating cultural diversity is recognizing that there is beauty and value in each practice, no matter how different it may be from ours. Bizarre customs teach us valuable lessons about resilience, courage, love, and respect. From bull jumping in Ethiopia to cheese racing in England, each tradition shows us the strength of the human spirit and the importance of rites of passage. These practices not only connect people with their roots, but also strengthen community ties and social cohesion. This country's curiosity reminds us that, in an increasingly globalized world, preserving and respecting cultural traditions is essential to maintaining our diversity and human richness. In addition to educating us, bizarre customs have the power to inspire us to embrace difference and expand our horizons. They challenge us to step out of our comfort zones and experience the world in new and unexpected ways. By learning about these traditions, we gain a deeper appreciation for creativity and the human ability to find meaning in all facets of life. This curiosity about countries encourages us to be more open, curious, and respectful towards the cultures we encounter. And so, with open hearts and minds, we hope that this journey through the world's bizarre customs has been as enriching for you as it has been for us. May you continue to explore, learn, and celebrate the incredible diversity that makes our world so fascinating. And remember, each tradition has a story to tell and a lesson to teach. We just need to be willing to listen and learn.
Hey explorers, if you love discovering the amazing curiosities and stories we share here on Exploring Nations, how about supporting the channel with just $1? This small gesture can make a big difference and is essential to keep this content going. Without your support, our journey might be cut short. And there's more. When you shop on Amazon, use our special link. It costs you nothing extra, plus you get an exclusive discount and it helps us out a lot. The links for donations and Amazon are pinned in the first comment. Don't let this adventure stop, we're counting on you. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and drop us a comment.